Imagine being able to rewrite the code of life, to remove suffering before it begins, to sculpt minds with genius, to craft perfect health into the next generation. But what if, in our pursuit of perfection, we lose something essential? Gene editing offers us a breathtaking power to cure disease, enhance ability, and shape the future of humanity. Yet it raises a question too profound to ignore. If we can change what it means to be human, should we? By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the science behind gene editing, but also why philosophers, ethicists, and scientists alike are wrestling with what may be the most important moral dilemma of our time. In 2012, a breakthrough echoed through the scientific world: CRISPR, an elegant tool for slicing and replacing DNA with surgical precision. Suddenly, editing the human genome was no longer science fiction, it was science fact. We could now dream of a world free from cystic fibrosis, Huntington's, sickle cell anemia. But not long after, that dream darkened. In 2018, a scientist in China edited the genomes of 2 unborn girls, declaring them the first genetically edited humans. The outcry was immediate, not just from scientists, but from ethicists, philosophers, and ordinary people around the globe. Why? Because this wasn't just about genes. It was about who we are, and who we might become. Philosophy has long asked, what is a good life? What is natural? And who decides? To some, gene editing is an act of compassion, an expression of our moral duty to reduce suffering where we can. Utilitarian thinkers argue, if we can prevent disease, why wouldn't we? But others raise deeper concerns. Is healing the same as enhancement? Should we remove depression or engineer unshakable optimism? Should we correct short stature or create a race of super athletes? Plato once imagined a society ruled by philosopher kings, where children were sorted by merit, raised for the good of the state. Today we risk something similar, not by force, but by choice. By selecting traits based on preference, desire, or social trend, do we unknowingly repeat the logic of eugenics? Jean-Jacques Rousseau warned of civilization's corrupting influence, arguing that nature was the source of virtue. If we edit ourselves away from nature, do we also edit away what makes us human? Socrates, too, would not have taken this lightly. For him, knowledge was not merely power, but responsibility. To act without reflection, without understanding what virtue means, is to become dangerous without knowing it. He would ask, do we truly understand the soul before we seek to rewrite the body? In today's world, the debate is more urgent than ever. On one hand, CRISPR trials are curing inherited blindness. Gene therapies offer hope for once incurable diseases. On the other, biotech companies offer designer embryo services based on genetic risk scores for intelligence or appearance. We stand at a threshold where the private dreams of parents could reshape public life for generations. What happens when only the wealthy can afford these enhancements? What happens to those left behind? Do we create a future of genetic classism? And in an age where climate change, war, and misinformation already divide us, can we afford a deeper divide built into our DNA? Maybe the real question isn't whether we should edit genes, but how we choose to live with that power. Are we sculptors of life, or stewards of its mystery? As Socrates might remind us, true wisdom begins not in certainty, but in the courage to ask, and perhaps in resisting the urge to perfect ourselves. We preserve the one thing that truly defines us, the humility to wonder. What do you think? Is gene editing our greatest hope or our greatest risk? Let us know in the comments. And if you believe questions matter more than answers, subscribe.